Hey you, yeah you, who's been wondering why Rockstar keeps pumping out GTA Online updates instead of new games. Ever thought about what happened to all of those other projects that were rumored or announced? Well, today we're about to dive into the biggest one of all, Agent. This game was supposed to be Rockstar's next big thing after GTA 4, a Cold War spy thriller that would push the PS3 to its limits. But something went wrong, and we're going to show you exactly what happened.
Today, we'd like to announce a new property coming from Rockstar North.
So Jack, are there any news on Agent?
They're developing the game, not us.
They're busy working on GTA 5.
Yeah,
We do have an
GTA
amazing...
5 is going to be incredible.
Agent from Rockstar. We've been talking about this for 5-6 years. You guys showed a logo a few years ago. Is that still in development?
I'm not sure where we're going to end up on that. Again, that's probably a better question for Rockstar.
Let's go back to 2009. Rockstar's riding high after GTA 4's massive success, and everyone's wondering what they're gonna do next. Then, out of nowhere, they drop this bombshell.
It's called Agent, and it will be exclusive to PlayStation 3. Agent will take a player across the globe amidst the shadowy world of espionage and assassins in the darkest hours of the late 1970s.
If you think this sounds awesome, you're definitely not alone. Sony was over the moon about it. They were showing it off at E3 like it's the next big thing. And Rockstar's not holding back either. They say Agent's gonna change gaming as we know it. But here's where it gets interesting. Agent wasn't just some new idea they just cooked up. No, this game had been in the works since 2003. So let's jump back a bit further. See, back in 2002, Rockstar bought this company called Angel Studios for about $28 million. Now, they're thinking, we need a new hit game to show everyone that this wasn't just a waste of money. So they put Angel Studios, now called Rockstar San Diego, to work on Agent, at first making it for the PlayStation 2. A spy game on PS2? That sounds pretty sweet. The team's pulling inspiration from old school British TV shows like The Professionals and James Bond movies, and they were really trying to nail down that 70s vibe. But here's where things start to get messy. The team at Angel Studios, or Rockstar San Diego, used to have a pretty chill work environment. Then suddenly, they're pulling 16-hour days, 7 days a week. Rockstar HQ in New York is keeping a close eye on everything, and it's not exactly the laid-back California lifestyle they're used to. Now, you'd think with all that work, they'd have something amazing to show for it. And at first, it looks like they do. They've put together this demo that's got everyone excited. You're being chased by a helicopter, stuff's exploding all around you. It's like something straight out of an action movie. The higher-ups at Rockstar, like the Hauser brothers, they love it, and they give the green light for full production. But that's when things start to really go off the rails. The New York office keeps changing their mind about what they want. One week it's this, the next week it's something completely different. The team's trying to keep up, but it's really hard to keep trying to hit a moving target. If you've played any game from Rockstar Games over the past decade, you'd know that this team really likes to do their research. For example, if you live in LA, you'd know just how accurate some of the locations in the game are compared to real life. Well, for Agent, they decided to send a team to Cairo to take some photos. Yeah, Cairo, Egypt. Sounds like a fun work trip, doesn't it? But trust me, it didn't go down the way you're thinking. We're gonna take a look at how that trip went wrong and how it was just the start of Agent's problems. So buckle up, cause we're about to see how this dream project started falling apart from day one. It's a wild ride, and you're not gonna believe some of the stuff that went down. Ever had a vacation go wrong? Well, Rockstar's trip to Egypt makes your lost luggage story look like a walk in the park. When the team set out to capture Cairo for the game, they had no idea that they were about to star in their own real-life spy thriller. So Rockstar sends this team to Cairo to take photos for Agent, like they do with almost every game. They go out and scout the location. Sounds like a pretty sweet gig, right? You're thinking sun, pyramids, maybe a camel ride. But here's the thing. Taking pictures in Egypt isn't as easy as you'd think. These guys had no clue what they were getting into. The team's going all out, snapping photos of everything they can see. Buildings, streets, people, you name it, they're capturing it. In fact, they took over 12,000 pictures in just 2 weeks. That's a lot of photos. But they either didn't know or didn't care that Egypt's got some pretty strict laws about taking photos in public. Especially around police stations and military stuff. Big no-no. If you think you know where this story's going, you don't. Here's where it gets crazy. One of the Rockstar guys is out there, camera in hand, taking photos of stuff when an official pulls a gun on him. And just like that, they're in hot water. The official's not messing around either. He takes their guide's ID And next thing you know, the police are showing up at the tour guide's house, asking all sorts of questions about what the Rockstar folks are up to. Things are getting serious real quick. The team is told to stay in their hotel rooms. They can't leave. It's like they're under house arrest, but on the other side of the world. All because they were trying to get some reference shots for their game. But it gets even worse. When they're finally heading to the airport to get out of there, they run into more trouble. The authorities are accusing them of filming illegal stuff. Imagine that, you're there to make a video game, and suddenly you're being treated like some kind of international spy. Just when you think it can't get any more messed up, check this out. They're going through one of the team's laptops, and guess what they find? Some pretty inappropriate pictures. But here's the kicker. They weren't even the developer's pictures. They belonged to his dad. On the laptop were some photos of genitalia. Now you can only imagine what they were being accused of filming once the authorities found this, but apparently the developer's dad was actually a gynecologist, which is why he had those photos on his dad's laptop. Jeez, talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But thankfully, everyone got out unharmed, and the situation was resolved. The whole thing's a disaster because these guys didn't do their homework. They had no idea about all of the paperwork and permissions you need to take photos in Egypt. It's not like snapping pics for Instagram like nowadays. You gotta be prepared. This whole Cairo adventure is like a warning to other game developers. When you're doing research in another country, you better know what you're getting into. The laws, the customs, all that stuff matters, and Rockstar learned that the hard way. So next time you're playing a game set in some exotic location, think about the poor developers who had to go get those reference shots. You never know what kind of trouble they might have gotten into just to make your video game look good. Ever wonder why some games take forever to come out? Agent's story is about to show you the dark side of game development that most companies don't want you to see. After all that drama in Egypt, you'd think Rockstar would be all in on Agent. But no, things just got worse. The New York office kept changing their mind about what they wanted. Like I said earlier, one week it's this, the next week it's totally different. Now you might think, okay, but that's just part of making games, right? Well, yeah, but not like this. The team at San Diego was working crazy hours. We're talking about 16-hour days, 7 days a week. That's not normal, even for the game industry. They're burning out fast, and the game's still not coming together. The story's all over the place. They can't nail down what kind of spy game they want to make. Is it more James Bond or Jason Bourne? Nobody seems to know, and here's the kicker. The game engine they're using, it's not working right for an open world game. They're struggling to make everything work the way they want. So what's causing Agent's development to slow down? Well, it's not just one thing. It's a perfect storm of problems. They're constantly changing plans, the overworked team, the story issues, and the engine problems. It's like trying to build a house while someone keeps changing the blueprints and half your tools don't work. In fact, a former Rockstar developer working on Agent gave us a bit of insight a couple of years ago. In 2023, Obi Vermey said, "After San Andreas, we really wanted to do something that wasn't a GTA. Rockstar San Diego were working on a James Bond style game. Leslie Benzies was keen to do something along those lines. We did a demo doing some spy stuff in San Andreas. I think there was a hang glider and a car turning into a submarine or something. It impressed Rockstar San Diego and New York, and we started working on it. The idea was that the team in Rockstar North would be roughly split down the middle. Half of us would work on the next GTA, GTA 4, and the other half on Agent. Internally, the project was known as Jimmy. It was a James Bond style game, and Jimmy is the Scottish version of James. The game was to be set in the 70s, be more linear than GTA with a number of locations. There was a French Mediterranean city, a Swiss ski resort, Cairo, and at the end, there would be a big shootout with lasers in space. Classic James Bond, the vibe was very cool. We really got going on this one, and it was worked on for over a year. I remember working on a downhill skiing chase scene with guns, for instance. The game wasn't progressing as well as we'd hoped. It was inevitable that eventually the whole company would have to get behind GTA 4. We tried to cut the game down in an attempt to get the bulk of it done before the inevitable call from New York would come. We cut out an entire level, I think Cairo, and maybe even the space section. It became clear that Jimmy was going to be too much of a distraction for us, and we ditched it. I think it was handed over to another company within Rockstar, but never got completed. But it gets even worse. That other studio Obi Vermey was mentioning was Rockstar San Diego, most likely. And after Rockstar San Diego worked on the game for a little bit longer, Rockstar starts pulling people off of Agent to work on Red Dead Redemption. You know that little cowboy game that ended up being kinda big? Yeah, that one. So now the Agent team is losing people and resources, and it's like trying to finish a race with one leg being tied behind your back. By 2009, the PS2 version of Agent is dead. They've been working on this game for years, and they've got nothing to show for it. But Rockstar's not giving up yet. They're stubborn like that. They announced Agent as a PS3 exclusive, trying to breathe new life into the project. Here's the thing though, that engine they were struggling with for Agent, it actually ended up being used for Red Dead Redemption. So all that work wasn't totally wasted. In a way, it caused the birth of one of the most beloved franchises we know today. But for Agents, it was another nail in the coffin. You gotta wonder what's going through the devs' minds at this point. They've been working on this game for years, putting in crazy hours, and it just keeps slipping away from them. It's like chasing a dream that's always just out of reach. And the worst part? This is somehow just the beginning of Agent's troubles. Things are about to get even messier. You know how sometimes you try to fix something but end up making it worse? Well, that's pretty much Agent's story from 2009 onwards. Rockstar's about to make a move that'll have everyone scratching their heads. What could possibly go wrong with announcing a game that's barely even started over? So it's 2009, Rockstar's trying to breathe new life into Agent, so they announce it as a PS3 exclusive, and suddenly everyone's talking about it again. But here's the thing, behind the scenes, the game has barely started development again. It's like they're trying to build a house on a foundation that's already crumbling and has been crumbling for years. Now you're probably wondering what this new version of Agent was supposed to be like. Well, some leaked concept art gives us a peek at what Rockstar had in mind. They were going for this huge open world with all of these cool spy gadgets. We're talking about gadgets that could hack into security systems, cars that could transform on the fly, and even some underwater exploration. Sounds awesome, right? Well, it kind of sounds like GTA Online nowadays, to be honest. But here's the catch. The team's struggling to make it all work. The bosses at Rockstar keep changing their minds about what they want, yet again. One day it's more action, the next day it's more stealth. And the team is trying to keep up. Yet again, they're working crazy hours, but the game's just not coming together. Years go by and Rockstar keeps saying Agent is still happening. But is it really? Every time someone asks about it, they get the same vague answer. It's still in development. But you gotta wonder, how close was Agent to actually being finished and released? Well, the truth is, not very close at all. The game went through so many changes and restarts that it never really got past the early stages of development. They had some cool ideas and some flashy concept art, but turning that into a working game, that's a whole different story. And here's where it gets really sad. In 2018, Rockstar finally throws in the towel. They abandon the trademark for Agent, and just like that, this game that was supposed to change everything is gone, officially. No announcement, no explanation, it's like it never existed. You know, it's crazy to think about all of the work that went into Agent, all those long hours, all those ideas, all those plans, and in the end, it all amounted to nothing. Well, almost nothing. Some of the tech they designed for Agent probably ended up in other Rockstar games, but the spy game that was gonna shake up the industry, it's just a footnote in gaming history now. So next time you're playing GTA Online or Red Dead, think about Agent. Think about the game that could have been. It's a reminder that even the biggest names in gaming can stumble. And sometimes the games we never get to play are just as interesting as the ones we do. So that's the story of Agent, the game that never was. You really do have to wonder how things would be different if Rockstar had pulled it off. But here's the thing. Agent's failure changed Rockstar in a big way. They stopped taking risks on new ideas and titles and started focusing on what they knew would make money. After Agent, Rockstar, in a way, kind of played it safe. They stuck to their big franchises like GTA and Red Dead. It's like they learned their lesson the hard way, right? No more crazy spy games or new ideas, just give the people what they want, right? Maybe in some parallel universe we're all playing Agent online instead, but in our world, Agent is just a reminder that even the biggest names in gaming don't get it right every time. And sometimes, the games we never get to play are the ones that change everything. Thank you for watching.